Muscle cars that killed the competition. Dominators of the streets. Welcome back to Vintage Wheels Chronicles. Today, we're diving into the world of pure domination. We're talking about muscle cars that didn't just race. They destroyed the competition. These were the kings of the quarter mile, the bullies of the boulevard, and the legends that made every other car quake in fear. When these beasts pulled up to a red light, you either respected them or got humiliated. In this video, we'll cover 3 muscle cars that ruled the streets with unstoppable force. Buckle up. It's going to get loud, fast, and brutal. 1. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The 1969 Camaro ZL1 was not just another muscle car. It was a monster disguised as a street machine. It looked like a typical Camaro SS at first glance, but under the hood was a hand-built, all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8. This engine, originally designed for racing, was brutally powerful and incredibly rare. Chevy only produced 69 ZL1 Camaros, making it one of the rarest and most valuable muscle cars ever built. Rated at 430 horsepower, many believed the real number was closer to 500. The ZL1 could destroy the quarter mile in under 13 seconds, unheard of at the time. It was faster than almost anything on the road, including European exotics. The car was designed specifically for drag racing and came stripped of any unnecessary weight. Its bare-bones interior was all about business. No frills, just speed. When it launched off the line, the rear tires screamed and smoke filled the air. This wasn't just a car. It was a weapon. Chevrolet built it to win races and make a statement. It did both, loudly. The ZL1's handling was aggressive and raw, demanding a skilled driver to tame it. This wasn't a car for the faint-hearted. It was for adrenaline junkies. Its aggressive styling and low stance gave it an intimidating look. The car's presence alone was enough to make others back off. On the streets, the ZL1 became the legend of late-night drag runs. No one wanted to line up next to it. It became a symbol of American muscle in its most extreme form. Unlike many muscle cars, it was built for function, not just show. Everything about it was engineered for maximum performance, and with such limited production, it gained mythical status. Collectors today treat the ZL1 as a holy grail. It paved the way for modern performance Camaros. But even today, few cars match the raw, untamed power of the original ZL1. Its legacy lives on in racing history. This was the car that beat everyone, without mercy. It was a king among beasts. Even Ferraris and Porsches were humbled by its raw acceleration. This car didn't need luxury or refinement. It needed a long, straight stretch of road. Its purpose was clear: dominate. No distractions, no apologies. For muscle car fans, the ZL1 is the ultimate street fighter. It represents the spirit of racing rebellion. Chevy took a gamble, and it paid off with a legend. The Camaro ZL1 wasn't just built to compete. It was built to win. 2. 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. The 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 is one of the most underrated muscle car assassins ever made. While Buick was known for luxury, the GSX was a street brawler in a tuxedo. Under the hood was a monstrous 455 cubic inch V8 that delivered an advertised 360 horsepower, but real output was closer to 420. It also produced an incredible 510 pound-feet of torque, one of the highest figures of any muscle car ever. That meant this car didn't just launch, it catapulted. The GSX could go 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds and cover the quarter mile in the low 13s. This car was faster than many Hemis, LS6s, and Boss Mustangs. But people didn't expect it, because it came from Buick. That made it even more dangerous. The GSX came in only two colors, Apollo White or Saturn Yellow. With racing stripes and a giant rear spoiler, it was impossible to ignore. The Stage 1 option added heavy-duty components and a more aggressive camshaft. It turned the GSX from a cruiser into a street killer. Inside, it still had all the comfort and plush materials of a Buick. But make no mistake, this car was a savage. On the street, it could humiliate GTOs and Corvettes. It was also surprisingly reliable for a high-performance car. And the GSX wasn't just about straight-line speed. Its suspension setup allowed it to handle curves with surprising confidence. People underestimated it, and that's what made it so lethal. The GSX could sneak up on you and leave you in the dust. It earned its place among the greatest muscle cars of all time. Despite low production numbers, its legend continues to grow. Many drivers who faced it at stoplights never saw it again until it was far in the distance. The car was a contradiction: luxury and violence, comfort and chaos. It was one of the few cars that could do it all, and Buick proved they could play dirty if they wanted to. Today, the GSX Stage 1 is a rare collector's gem. But back in 1970, it was a fearsome predator. If you saw those black stripes and yellow paint roll up, you knew trouble was coming. It had an identity all its own, classy but deadly. No car combined elegance and aggression quite like the GSX. It's a perfect example of muscle car magic. Torque, style, and shock value in one package. It didn't talk, it roared. And when it did, you listened. Because the GSX wasn't just playing the game, it was rewriting the rules. 3. 1968. Dodge Dart GTS 440. The 1968 Dodge Dart GTS 440 was a street fighter that punched far above its weight. Dodge took one of its smallest, lightest cars and stuffed in one of its biggest engines, the legendary 440 Magnum 5.8. The result? An absolute rocket that few cars could touch. The Dart GTS looked innocent, compact, even humble. But it packed 375 horsepower and massive low-end torques. Weighing significantly less than its competitors, it became a power-to-weight monster. It could smoke the tires through first, second, and third gear. Quarter-mile times were often in the 12s, which was insane for a car of its size. It embarrassed bigger, more expensive cars daily. And it didn't need fancy styling to prove its worth. It had a clean, no-nonsense look that made it even more intimidating. This was a car built for only one thing: domination. It didn't have the flash of a Mustang or the curves of a Camaro. But when the light turned green, it vanished. Many muscle car fans call it a factory sleeper. You never saw it coming until it was too late. Inside, it was pure simplicity. Just the basics. But every detail was focused on speed. The engine bay barely contained the 440 block. It was a tight squeeze, but it worked beautifully. The handling wasn't refined, but who cared when it moved like a missile? This car wasn't about cornering finesse. It was about raw acceleration. The GTS 440 wasn't even officially advertised by Dodge. It was built for enthusiasts who knew what they wanted. And those who drove it never looked back. The surprise factor made it even more legendary. People underestimated the Dart until they lost to it. It was the David that crushed Goliaths daily. This car represented Dodge's boldness in the muscle era. Stuff the biggest engine in the smallest package and let it rip. Today, it's remembered as one of the boldest street machines of the era. Collectors cherish its rarity and performance. It wasn't just a car, It was a street myth. Every town had stories of a Dart GTS that couldn't be beat. It earned that reputation the hard way, on the blacktop. You didn't challenge a Dart 440 unless you had something truly special. Because it didn't play fair, it played to win. Fast, lightweight, and brutally effective, the Dart GTS 440 is muscle in its purest form. And even now, it's feared. These weren't just cars, they were street legends. Each one had a unique way of killing the competition, whether through sheer power, surprise, or savage torque. Let us know in the comments which of these muscle monsters you'd take into battle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a ride from Vintage Wheels Chronicles. See you in the next Burnout.